What does the 3-hour workout week look like?
One, one shot, now the future is yours. Go!
My fitness family, Brent Casper with BKPT, Brent Casper Personal Training, and I am going to go over what does the 3-hour workout week look like. What does it look like? Does it even exist? Of course it exists. What? All right, that's why I'm here to teach you guys.
Oh my God! Wow!
So here we go. A good friend / client of mine, because anytime a client becomes a client, they actually end up becoming friends, because what does a personal trainer do but other than get close and dirty with you, so that way we get to know the ins and outs of your life, so that way I know what to expect from you. That's what I do. So we get a little bit up close and personal. So my buddy Mike comes in. He is a father of 2 boys, okay, in sports. They're very active. I think they're like 10, 14 years old, something like that, very close to that. He's in his mid-40s, and he's like, dude, I just don't have time to work out. Like, I don't. I used to be a collegiate baseball player, but that was, decades ago, which is the majority of the stories that I get, right? This is not uncommon, right? This is just, for instance, because this is like 2 months ago that Mike came in. And, I'm meeting with him, and we're talking about, just what he does, which he's in sales. And I want to say pharmaceutical sales, but it could be something else. But anyways, it's face-to-face. He's meeting with people face-to-face. And you know what that means, right? And if you don't, here's what it means. A lot of times, especially if you're doing high-ticket stuff, you are a lot of times whining, dining, taking them out, schmoozing, and not in a bad way. It's just the fact that that's kind of what it takes. Like, it takes time to curate those things because they're high ticket. They're, big dollar amounts. We're talking like, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, $100,000 deals. And at the end of the day, like, it's not going to be like, it's not like a $37, let me just click this real quick, because it doesn't really hurt the pocketbook too much, whether it's good or bad. So you're spending $100K, you want to make sure that it's worth it. So you're spending some time with somebody, getting to know what's going to benefit them and how I can help them, right? Because that's what it is. So a lot of times it's on the run, just time, man. Like, if he's wanting to spend a little time with his kids, getting, obviously then involved in their sports, obviously wants to be a great husband. He's trying to be there for his wife as well. She's busy, obviously running them 2 different things, has her own job. But what he's noticing is, damn, dude, my wife is freaking killing it now. She's out there working out. She's eating good. She's taking care of herself. She's looking like she did back in the day, man. She's looking great. But now I'm not satisfied with how I look in the mirror when I'm looking at myself. And these are all the things that happen when somebody goes through these kind of like eye-opening minutes. And it takes like 1 minute. A lot of times, like, well, what am I going to do? And then either they move on, they Google something, they look something up. Thank goodness I popped up when he did Google it. And therefore, I shot him over a message, and, we ended up getting a line so that we can chat. But what I told him is like, look, Mike, like, you might think, because he's thinking of baseball, he's thinking, of what it took to get to where he's at. And it took hours and hours of practice and hours of this. But guess what? You're not a collegiate athlete anymore. You're just trying to get not a dad bod. You're trying not to, like, go down that whole path of being unsatisfied with the way you look, even though you're satisfied with what you've created, which is a great family, good wife, and, kids are rocking it and they're doing great in their sports, which is, it's fun. And you want to be able to experience that, and you want to be able to go play with those kids as well. But if you think that it takes this huge amount of time, then you're like, dude, I don't have time for that. That's like a lot, because you poured into the sport. You had to get something mechanically ingrained in your brain that, it's not that. Like, that's not what you're trying to do anymore. You need to be able to pour into your work, pour into your family, pour into your body, and take care of yourself, so that way you can play with your family, live the life you want to live, look good, and have the success that you want. So, you know how Tim Ferriss wrote that 4-hour work week? Because he's trying to create the automations, the different things you need to have set up, different people working for you, different things in general what to do to get to that point, so that way your work week looks like it only takes you 4 hours. Well, guess what? You could do the same thing with your body, and guess what? I'm going to one-up him. I'm going to do it in 3 hours, because that's typically what I use depending on an individual's goals to accomplish. So that way, obviously, you just break it down. And if you look behind me, I've got the whiteboard up. Let me walk in front of it, right? So I broke down what this looks like for you. So that way you have a roadmap. You have somewhat of an idea of how to move forward with it. If you don't want to, reach out and have me break it down for you, so that way it can fit your career, your lifestyle, where you're at, and what you can possibly do. So that way, depending on what you got, you're going to be going to the gym, if you're going to be doing it at your house, if you're going to be doing this like in the airport, flying from city to city, country to country. So that way we can break it down and see what your workout week would look like, okay? So don't think that this is like a one-size-fits-all thing, because at the end of the day, this is individualized. This is a plan. This is how it would look broken into 3 hours, which I feel like is a very good, substantial amount of time to do it. If you need to do it less, I can show you other tricks and strategies also. But here we go. So you take 3 hours, right? You break it into the minutes, which is 180 minutes. So you break it into how many days of the week that you're going to train. I think consistency is king. So if you can be consistent, doing it and more often, then I think that it builds more success, and it builds, that favorite word that we all have as trainers and coaches is habits, healthy habits you're building. So I believe that you should do this first thing in the morning. So you break it into the minutes. If you're doing it for 5 days a week, it's 36 minutes on a 5-day program. If you're doing it 6 times a week, it's 30 minutes. So that's just kind of like to give you an idea. So if you need to do 12 15-minute workouts, that means what, 2 times a day for 6 days, or figure it out, right? So we're breaking the 180 minutes down into however many workouts you're going to do. So that's kind of how the week is set up. And then I feel, and this is what the success that I've had with thousands and thousands of clients, and this is built into the programs that I have developed for people, which is a part of my 7-figure body blueprint. And this is going through either 3 quad sets or 4 tri sets. Quad sets means 4 exercises per group of circuit, or however you want to look at it. And then the other one is 3 exercises, so tri sets. Or you could even do supersets as well. So you're still taking those same 12 exercises and you're just supersetting them, so you're pairing 2 exercises together. I think, and this is just how I train my clients, 4 core exercises. So you have 4 core exercises not being abs. This is a core exercise, so it's a compound joint movement. This is something that you're going to put the highest amount of resistance against your body, okay? So this is like your bench, your deadlift, your whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. So, a lot of times people will try to build certain things, so we want to make sure that the program's developed into that format, okay? So bent over rows, chin-ups, all those types of things, like leg press. Anytime there's multiple joints moving is when joints being like wrists, elbows, shoulders. So those are all your joints, knees, hips, ankles, that type of stuff. So that way, the more joints you have more moving, the more muscles you kind of have working. So therefore, you can get the most out of those exercises. So you want to make sure that those are your highest resistance exercises. Also, with this, the other either quad sets could either be your isolation movements, which is when one joint is moving. So this is like your fine-tuned muscle stuff. So like your post delts. So like when you're doing your bent over post delts, chest flies, pullovers, your different types of things for your legs, like leg extensions, leg curls, any type of isolation movement, all right? So those are things to kind of like drive some blood into that, to warm that muscle up prior to actually hitting that core lift. And then you can finish it with some type of cardio, abs, that type of stuff as well, or start it that way as well. But your core lift should be right there in the middle. And they also should take the majority of the time. So if you have a 30-minute workout session, then maybe like 5, 6, 7 minutes are spent at the beginning, 15, 20 minutes spent on your core exercises, and then also, 5 to 6, 7, 8 minutes at the end. So equaling 30 minutes. All right. So it could be broken down into time. That's what I mean. Like, so this is not like, oh my gosh, like, should I check my cell phone? This is like, set all your crap aside, knock your workout out. We just have 30 minutes. So that way we're going to do what we got to do, to get the most out of it. So that way, when you look in the mirror and you're like, damn, I'm looking good. So, and this is like, back to Mike, is like, it's been 2 months. This dude's dropped like 6% body fat already, and he is way happy. And he's realized, like, hey, I can actually squeeze this into my schedule and, get it done and get it out the way. And it's not going to take me that long. And guess what? He is super happy for where he's at. And he's still getting to entertain, and he's still getting to eat, things that he thought he was going to have to give up, which he's not having to. So I wanted to give you guys an example, though, of what a program would look like, right? Or isolation movements are going to be, your chest flies, pullovers, like I was saying, and then we go into a little bit of a cardio / ballistic movement, which would be your long jump. So it's like jumping for distance. And then an ab exercise, so sit up or knee up or something like along those lines. So that would be kind of how it starts. Get your core engaged, get some blood flow to the actual muscles you're getting ready to work. And then that way we go into the heat of it. So repetitions, they're like, oh my God, yeah, you're telling me the exercise and you're not giving me repetitions. So repetitions are going to vary. So, it's those isolation movements or those cardio movements is based on you could either do time, reps, whatever. But so like say like 15 chest flies, 10 pullovers, 5 long jumps, and 20 abs. But it's not something that needs to be focused on. It's not like, oh, like, God, I'm going to knock out like 5 reps of something. It's just because it's more so of just getting blood into those areas because your core lifts are coming, right? So core lifts in this workout are going to be your bench press, chin-ups, deadlifts, and bent over rows. So all those need to be heavy. So when I'm saying heavy, you need to be struggling. So if you're setting out to do like 6 to 8 repetitions, you should be struggling, like to the point where, 8 is a struggle. But you need to make sure your form's still good. So adding that weight in there, knocking it out. This is the heat, though. You need to be bringing your A game. Your blood should be getting hot already, and you should be knocking out 6 to 8 repetitions here. And then, 20 minutes of it. So going around, it's not crazy, sporadic, out of control. This is not CrossFit style. This is good form, but not resting and looking at your phone, checking your Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn accounts, making more sales while you're lifting, because you're not going to get anything in. And at the end of the day, it's 30 minutes. Come on, we can do this. When you get done with your circuit, then go ahead and get a little bit of sip of water, but then you got to move on because guess what? It's only 30 minutes. You're going to finish it up with same thing. So either body weight failure type stuff. So you're going to be going into box hops, cardio, hearts pumping right into some chest dips. Chest dips, failing out, building that chest. You can go right back into either pull-ups or post delts, just kind of fine-tuning those back muscles, working. You can always do face pulls. That's what I have on there. But just kind of trying to make that posture, opening yourself back up. So same thing, a lot of like fine-tuning stuff to help build the muscles, but also, it's not like your major core lifts. So this is, in a nutshell, what a 30-minute workout would look like. So you would just devise the plan for your entire week, right? So that's how you want it to go. It's how you want it to look. Knock it out, crush it, challenge yourself for 30 days. Say, hey, 30 days, I'm going to see how I do with this, 30-minute, 35-minute, 45-minute workouts, depending on how many days you're putting in. Let's see what I can do, because at the end of the day, I bet you, in that 3-hour week, you are going to make significant changes, because I see it every day with new clients, existing clients. People run through the holidays, they pack on unwanted weight, and then they lock it back in, or they get back from vacation. But the good thing is you're doing this the right way. You're building muscle, which is increasing your metabolism. So even when you go off schedule, off kilter, it's very easy to get it back once you've been consistent for a period of time, not like 1 week. I'm talking like a period of time, once you've built it into your life, okay? So hopefully this makes sense. Hopefully you guys get the big picture of this 3-hour workout week, because I want you to get the most out of this, and I want you to understand it. It's not a mountain. Once you understand, like Mike did, you know, this is something that can easily be done. It's just about having somebody build you the program so that way you can get the most out of it. So let's set up a chat. Hit me up. Either, you know, pop it in the comments, go to my DM, find me on my website, which is brentcasmer.com, and guess what I'm going to do for you? I'm going to set aside time for you because I want this for you. The only thing that I get gratification from is when I see clients of mine getting the success that they didn't even think was possible anymore. They think they're too old, I can't do this. They think, oh, there's no way I can fit it into my life now. I just got to accept this body. It's not the case. You can do this, all right? And I will talk to you soon. And if not, I'll see you in the next video.